Welcome to Soul Talks, the show that helps you live your dreams. Today I'm talking with my good friend Alicia Power, the Master Intuitive. I'm very excited. And today we're going to learn about leading from soul. Welcome, Alicia.
Hey, Bevan. Thank you. Thanks for having me on here today.
You're
Soul
welcome.
to soul, my favorite topic.
Awesome. Yeah, the intersection of business and soul.
Mm.
So you're going to be sharing with us on these. What is your purpose? How can you fulfill your purpose in business? And what is leading from soul? First, I'm going to introduce Alicia to everyone. So a former journalist, Alicia is a master energy healer and an advanced intuitive, a consciousness thought leader, and an author of numerous online courses and products. She is a prolific blogger, has 59,000 Twitter followers, plus a popular YouTube channel with over 6,000 subscribers. Needless to say, Alicia is a passionate transformational speaker and soul coach who speaks regularly on international telesummits and radio. Alicia's spiritual knowledge comes from 40 years studying spiritual mastery. Plus, she has trained with CEO levels of the spirit worlds for 25 years. This inner training she loves to share with her global audience, helping them understand practical tools for awakening and soul leadership. She has been highly initiated by spirit and brings a potent activation to all who work with her. You will find her courses and events at soulmentoring.com. I'm very honored to have you here today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bevan. I'm very excited.
Thanks for helping us launch soultalks.com, the first one.
Yeah, Bevan. Soul to soul. It's the topic that could be and should be on everybody's mind and everybody's heart.
It's time, right?
Yeah, it is time. It is time.
So leading from soul, where would you like to start with leading from soul?
Yeah, leading from soul. So I'm really passionate about finding people who are wanting to mature their leadership. So anybody who's watching this right now, you have a soul, and there was a day where you popped into your human body, where you were birthed, and you've lived your life and you've rolled through your life and learnt a lot, and you've come to this moment, this point where you're watching this and you're going, what's this? Soul to soul. And one of my passions is to remind people that they are a soul, because this isn't talked about that much. I mean, you may be somebody watching this, that you may be in your spiritual development and learning about your spiritual development. And I know, Bevan, you are, and I have. So we've kind of cracked open the detective case, it's like cracking open this secret of why am I even here in my human body? And sure, I've got a busy life, and there's maybe family around me, and there's a heck of a lot of projects that I'm involved in, or I'm striving, for some results and goals in my life. And yet it's really fun to come to a screeching halt and look at yourself in the mirror. And like I did this one day, I remember doing this, where you look into the eyes of yourself in the mirror and you kind of go like, right, like, why am I actually really here? And who really is looking out of my eyes back at me? And, is this really fun of everything that I'm doing? Or am I just busy? And am I just kind of doing things that I'm obliged to do, or doing things that everybody tells me I should be doing to be quote unquote successful? Am I following somebody else's map? And what I'm talking about here is taking this strange, unplugged moment, unplugged from anyone else's mental map of what you should be doing, and unplugged from family's obligations, and unplugged from even who we think we are with all of our roles, and I'm not even saying this literally, to look in the mirror and look at your eyes, but actually it's really a beautiful thing to do. And this is actually what happened to me when I was about 27, something like that.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear about it.
26, 27. it was really funny. It's like I was looking in the mirror and looking back at myself, and it was a quiet moment. It was like a really sort of, really, something came over me and I got really quiet and still. And there was a feeling inside of me of like, okay, here I am at about 26, 27. I can't remember how old I was, but I've lived a life already. I've done a lot. And yet, am I actually on track? You know, because my mind can tell me what I should be doing. But then there's this thing of, hey, is there a soul in me? And is it much more intelligent than I am? And did it have an agenda to be here in this experience of being a human? Did it actually have an agenda? And if so, should I stop for a minute and ask it if it's got an agenda? You know what I mean? So I'm just sort of bringing this story to everybody's attention of, is this important? Should we stop and ask, what does our soul want to be doing? And so let's have a look at this word purpose. You know, what is your life's purpose and what is your soul's purpose? Purpose. So I just want to quickly say, and I'm going to dive in really deep and esoteric just really quickly for everybody, so hold on to your hats, because the true purpose of your life is to learn from every single second, actually. Bevan, I love your hat. So your purpose, everybody's life purpose, is every breath you take, you're actually tracking yourself and you're actually gauging and assessing. And you're assessing, am I happy or am I not happy? Am I comfortable? Am I not comfortable? It's really
simple. How do I feel about this? Like,
it's a
really
binary
what I want to be doing. Does it light me up?
Exactly. It's a binary thing. It's like, and also, by the way, there's like a little rudder and radar inside of us of, am I on purpose? Am I off purpose? Am I fulfilling my soul? Am I not fulfilling my soul? So I just wanted to say that this is happening subliminally, actually, way down, you know, below our logic. And that's why you've probably, whoever you are watching this, you're here right now, soul to soul, intriguing topic. You know, it's an intriguing statement. Here we are talking from a soul point of view. And soul to soul, every moment you are tracking if you're happy, and there's levels of happiness. There's, am I plugged in to my soul purpose, and am I following my soul's agenda, or am I following obligations and everybody else's agendas, right? So this is a big question.
Yeah, this has just inspired me to do something. I have this little piece of paper where I wrote my purpose on it, and then I say it, because this is like what supposedly Andrew Carnegie did when he went from being a day laborer up into management and then basically owning the steel industry. But how do you shift being a day laborer, right? So it's like making a new habit of thought and then a habit of action, like choosing a purpose, right? And then starting to do that thing and do more than you get paid for, and so on, right? And so if I read out what I focus on, and maybe you could give a message from your tutors
about whether it's on track. Do you know something I just want to say, by the way, is you have just articulated one of the most simplest, most powerful ways, tools to get yourself on track, you, Bevan, but anybody watching this as well. And that is that every single morning, even if it takes half a minute, just to write down what you want. Because every time you write down what you want, you will be fine-tuning that. And so the next day you might write something of what you want to be doing a little bit differently. And that could be changed a year from now, from the time that you're actually doing that every morning. That could be quite different. But what you've done, and Bevan, what you've just said, is that you're fine-tuning and fine-tuning and fine-tuning and articulating clarity of noticing what you want. So you've stopped to even notice and to write it down. There is nothing more powerful than that, because what you're doing is reflecting back to you almost as a mirror of taking a moment to even notice and reflecting it back to you. Yeah, and just clarifying. So powerful. Bevan, go for it.
I'm ready. Okay, yeah. So I've got like 3 parts to it, and we don't need to do like the prayer, the thank you at the end. We can just do like these 3, because that part is just copied. So My major desire in life is a whole and balanced life, thriving in joy, love, and abundance with laughter in my soul. And here's the second one. My definite major purpose is to create a world where work is joy and comes from love, for that is what we're all made of. And then here's one where it's an intention here. Exactly how do I do it, right? Or kind of accelerate the awakening and benefit, right? So I intend to help soul-centered entrepreneurs make the impact they're destined to make by helping them connect and collaborate soul to soul.
Congratulations, Bevan. Do you want me to tune into my spirit teams?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So instantly, they are instant always, because I've been doing this, talking to them for 28 years telepathically.
And that's one of the things you help people do, is get that clear connection.
That's how I help. That's right. A lot of people. So instantly, and I know that at some point you've stopped and come to a crashing halt somewhere and gone, I don't want to go in that direction. I want to go in this direction. Is that right, Bevan? You had to come to a crashing halt somewhere.
Oh, well, I missed something because we had an internet connection mishap. So earlier on, so I know you said I came to a crashing halt at some point, but I missed what was before that.
Saying that my spirit guides were immediately feeling into your soul, because they can see your soul. They can see the energy that your soul is, right? And when you said those intentions and they tuned into your soul, they just went, you're aligned. And this is what I love to help people, is get them aligned with their soul work and business from soul, leading from soul, right? So you're aligned. So that intention is really aligned, and it's aligned because it gives you joy, and it gives soul joy. Yeah. And I just want to say too, is leading from soul, what you've just articulated and read out just then is almost, yes, there's a profit motive, and at the same time there's a much bigger service motive, right? Service from soul, because you've noticed that you have to be joyful, otherwise you can't be bothered doing it. Yeah. It's got to really connect with your soul, otherwise now you've come to a point, I think, is that right, where you just don't want to do anything that doesn't give you that joy from the soul.
Yeah, totally.
Tell me about that.
Absolutely.
Tell me about
Otherwise, I'll just go to the beach and go swimming. I'm not going to waste time if I don't enjoy doing the thing. So yeah, I have to make sure that I'm aligned with it.
And Bevan, tell me the moment that happened. Like, what happened to you where you kind of went, oh, I can't do this thing over here and I've got to do this thing over here. What happened?
Well, I guess it probably started in 2010. Like, I was working as a surveyor, and I actually got 5 months off over a winter thing, because it was a seasonal layoff, because you can't build highways in the winter. So it's just like, take a break. And then I looked around at what else I could do to supplement my income, and decided on like something online, right? And then at some point I realized, yeah, I can believe that these people have achieved the success, but I didn't really believe that I could do it. I noticed that. So I had to kind of get into personal development, or like my level of belief in myself. And then I realized I really want to inspire people. And that was like, that really resonated. And so I went into a direction with that. That was in 2010. So it's just a long journey of different challenges, and then getting more aligned, and then like removing things from my life that I didn't want to do, simplifying it, and just focusing more on what I love to do.
Wow. I love that. Well done. And I just want to acknowledge your courage too. So leadership, I just want to say, Bevan, I so feel that you are in your leadership. And the reason I would like to say that is because it's really obvious to me that you've decided to be yourself and to do this really aligned path that you've decided that you want to do, despite any other person's opinion of you.
Yes.
And that's very courageous.
Soul to soul connector.
So that's really courageous. I just want to say courage is one of the first building blocks of leadership, and where you don't need to worry or care what anyone else's opinion of you. And I feel that from you, Bevan. You're just quietly moving forward on this mission and on this alignment, on this work that gives you joy. So I just want to say for everybody watching this, this is an example, Bevan is an example of leadership that's aligned with his soul. He really is. You really are, Bevan.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're an example. You're a walking, talking example. And
what else? What are the other most important things for us to know or do to lead from our soul?
Okay, so something that I love to mentor people in is for them to connect directly to their soul, to get to know your soul in a psychic spaces where you see your soul and you communicate with it and you get to know it and you interview it and you brainstorm with it and you get clear with it on what its agenda is. But not only that, you begin to recognize, you know, in ancient traditional religions, they talk about self-realization. Self-realization. To me, that's recognition viscerally of what you are as a soul. So this is something I love mentoring people in who are in leadership, so that they let go of the restriction and the limitation of being afraid of what other people's opinions of them are, so that they begin to step forward, break out of their shell, and lead from their soul, soul-led leadership. Excuse me. And so getting to know your soul better, this is a wonderful revelation. It's a wonderful process of falling in love with your own soul and allowing that soul to be seen and heard much, much more. So I just want to say that's a really important part, Bevan. Yeah.
And then I guess
Leading from soul.
And then how can we fulfill our soul in business?
So a really simple way is to, as I just said, let go of fear or the limitation that you place upon yourself of the opinions in the marketplace, and not be reckless, but definitely be creative. And most importantly is to make a decision to serve. And we all know this actually from a marketing point of view, that when the profit motive is not front of mind, when you're in front of a customer and when you are genuinely and authentically serving that person, then that person likes and trusts you. We know that from that framework of business. But you could also take that a little bit further and make it your mission in this lifetime to serve, really authentically and genuinely, from your heart, from your spirit, from your soul. And when that happens, you step way past any business frameworks, actually. And you bust a glass ceiling, not just for women. You bust through limitations. And anything is possible. And I don't want to sound Pollyanna-ish, but there are many great leaders who say that anything is possible if you envision it, if you imagine it. Okay, so when you're working from a place like that where you've made a decision, a critical decision, because you know that this life is critical, it's very short, it's a critical life, and you make a decision to serve humanity, very little is impossible for you. You know, and you begin to show up and model for your community and for generally humanity. So I'm just giving you a quick summary, everyone watching this, is that if this is something that speaks to you and that you feel, wow, I would love to be there someday, and you want to put your hand up for that, then I can mentor you into that level of strength and also that level of sort of release inside of yourself where you're feeling a little bit held back. Do you know what, Bevan? I just want to talk a little bit about something that you and I talked about, which is a little bit intriguing maybe for some of you watching this. And that is this concept of that you may have had other lifetimes, previous lifetimes before this particular life in this lifetime. Because I'm a psychic facilitator, I've had many, many customers and clients where we explored other life times where they had experiences of leadership, for example. And sometimes those experiences of leadership caused a fear moment for them. Maybe they had a major failure in their role in leadership. And in this lifetime, that remembrance, that memory of failure is still there somewhere in their subliminal wiring. And that is causing that person to just put brakes on deep inside of themselves to step into their leadership. They almost don't want to go to that platform of leadership anymore. So I'm just letting you know that there's all sorts of different subliminal things that can be holding you back. Or, for example, in past lives in leadership where you had ultimate power and you did something destructive from some kind of a reflex deep inside of yourself. You made some decisions that had wide impact and they were really destructive. And so almost you fear power in a way, or you fear leadership because there's a subliminal memory of taking that role and twisting it and it not turning out for the highest good at all. So again, there's all kinds of different subliminal memory that can just skittle you and just push against an authentic knowing that this lifetime counts and that you really do need to get into service in your leadership in this lifetime. So I'm encouraging everyone just with these concepts, but I'm also saying that there's one heck of a lot of under the ocean, this big iceberg of subliminal reflexes from memories from who knows what that are sitting there. And as a psychic facilitator, this is what I help you with. We go in and we take a look at this long trajectory of your soul and your soul's history, where it came from, what kind of experiences it had. I just want to quickly say too, some kinds of past life memory are relationship memories where you might have been ostracized from your community in a past life. And this has set you up where you fear being seen by a lot of people and showing up in your leadership and in your service, because in some past life it could have really badly hurt you, where you walked out in your leadership and the wider community shut you down for whatever reason. So that could be sitting in your memory. So I'm just putting up these, and you guys who are watching this, you're going, oh my God, yeah, that's sitting in my memory somewhere. You know, you might be feeling, oh yeah, I've got that fear. Right? Some other people don't have that fear, you see.
Like also that big one I heard in one of your interviews, you said it was from years ago. There was one example of people having this fear because they might have been involved in some organization and there was a leader, maybe not them, but there was a leader, but this leader was taken over by shadow, and then that was, you know, propagated down through everyone.
Yeah.
You weren't aware of it.
Yes. That's actually quite a common one, you know, especially for people with big souls, full of light and full of, you know, desire to serve. That in some past lives we've been in maybe religious organizations or some kind of organizations, and our mentors and the people that are running the organization aren't 100% positive. They've got some huge negativity sitting in their spiritual makeup, in their psychological makeup. You know, maybe they were psychopaths, but their level of control, sometimes we might have opened our innocence to them and taken on board the training that they were giving us, and then we were derailed because of that, unfortunately. And, you know, at the end of our life, when we go back and into spirit form and we have a review of our life, that's when we see the truth of what was actually happening there. And now we're in this life, and we're remembering some of those lessons that we learned. And as you say, Bevan, you know, we may have a little bit of a caution about stepping out into a leadership role where we're thinking, well, can I guide other people correctly, you know, from a correct, clean place inside of myself, where I don't, you know how they say power corrupts. And so where we stay in our authenticity, in our integrity, in a position of power, in a position of leadership. So yeah, there's all kinds of different stories that happen and all kinds of reasons why we may subliminally be holding ourselves back from leadership. And yet the big soul that we are, you know, maybe wanting to step forward, but there's a bit of drag there. And so you want to kind of study that and do some due diligence on what that is, tease it out and have a look.
Mm-hmm. So I'm really glad you shared all that too. And I would say, what would you say that you're like a spirit team that's focused on leadership, what else do they want us to know about leading from soul?
Yeah. Oh gosh, you know that they are saying that if you manage to lead from soul in this lifetime, you've made it. You've been truly successful. You've been correctly successful. You may have abundance and money, and some leaders that are currently out there in a big way come to mind, and they are leading from their authenticity and their integrity. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And these days we've got YouTube where you can build up a huge, massive following on social media and just put yourself out there to be seen. It's a really interesting time, isn't it, Bevan? Like we can,
Yes.
the message that we want to give can be seen by one hell of a lot of people, a heck of a lot of people now. So our souls can shine brightly, and our knowledge and our intelligence and our inner calm and our inner stillness and our inner love can be broadcast to a lot of people. So I'm saying anybody watching this, you've got an opportunity at this time on planet Earth and for humanity to influence. You have an opportunity to influence, and that is leadership.
Ah,
That's
yes.
leadership.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's quite inspiring. Just a couple days ago, I did this inspired content creation workshop. I went up to the hill volcano here and I recorded it. And so everything I did, like the audios and videos, I put it all on a page. I'm just giving that to people. That's something people might get in. They might want to use that as an example if they, because what I would encourage someone to do is kind of like go into nature and just kind of relax and just receive, and then see what you get inspired with, and then like, share that message or take action on the idea. And that thing was an example of that.
You know, Bevan, you've just spoken something that's incredibly simple, but actually for many people in our culture now, and it's growing wider and wider through all of the cultures, is this wired existence with technology. And it's catching us, it's gluing us in, it's addicting us.
Oh yeah.
You've just said something, and I believe this could be something really strong in the way that you bring leadership. And that is that you're encouraging people to walk away from their devices and to walk into nature. And there's books being written about this now. People are starting to look at this now. This is beginning to have a big conversation around the world right now.
Yeah, because this is something that comes to me naturally. Yeah.
That's right. This is starting right out there with many articles in the New York Times and excellent authors starting to write books about this right now, that technology is starting to take over our minds and is starting to make us dumber, dumb and dumber. Yeah. We're getting less and less input that is good quality, and we're losing our ability to feel the truth of our own spirit, of our own soul. And you're talking about going into nature, which is actually the conversation that's happening right now around the world with many excellent people starting to look at this. And Bevan, you're just exactly talking about this. Go into nature, get away from your technology, get away from devices, and begin to feel yourself, begin to notice your own truth, begin to notice your own inspiration and your own creativity, way away from the electronics. I just want to say quickly, everybody, that electronics and our electronic devices and IT not only are addictive, but my spirit guides are telling me to say this right now, they're based on waveforms that are a particular kind of electronic waveform that what is called entrainment. It entrains our own subtle electromagnetic waveforms. It actually imposes and connects with our own subtle auric electromagnetic waveforms in our aura, in our electromagnetic field.
Oh yeah, so it's important to actually not even bring it if you want to go totally pure. Yeah, that's
exactly
great.
Right.
You added that other level to it, because when I went up there, I had both of these devices. That's for audio, and this is for video, and I created content, right? So through the inspiration, when I got the inspiration from nature, then I would shoot a video, and then I posted it later. Actually, I posted a few from up there. But yeah, the key thing there was to create, not to consume. And I made it
Yeah.
a third day in the life of a creative genius. And
So
then
Bevan, I love it. I totally love what you're doing there because it is.
so I'd recommend that. You're right. Like go up there with paper and a pen, but nothing to read. Right, just bring the paper so you can write down your insights. Yeah.
So the conversation that's starting around now, that's beginning to be. I'm talking about this because I've noticed it and I've got the book and I'm starting to read these articles. This big conversation that's starting, looking at the big corporations, etc., that are the big IT corporations, is that human beings are plugged in to their devices, but what is actually happening is they're losing their ability to be creative. They're losing their ability to feel their own individuality in the sense of, because they're getting
I definitely
inputted.
feel that. I definitely feel that whenever, say, I get distracted and I lose purpose, even just momentarily, right? Or you get discouraged but you're like, oh, I just want this hit, like this little bit of excitement. Like you kind of just you start scrolling down, and so now you're consuming. You
Yeah.
totally lose your individuality, and also you can waste all kinds of time on that too.
And so, Bevan, I'm just going, hey, man, this is big. This is not a little thing. See, you're offering something beautiful and creative from a moment in nature, you know, from your inspiration, and you're putting it out there and broadcasting. So the broadcasting is good, right? Because we can reach a lot of people, but it's a double-edged sword. And so I think this conversation and this topic does need to be talked about. And I think it's important that we've just mentioned it here because there is a danger here of, well, this book that I've just bought is the shutting down of the human mind, actually. This is where it's leading, you know, where large corporations are in control of the content, you know, and dripping to us the angles, not necessarily malevolently, but there's a limitation to it.
Interesting too, because you were a journalist, and there was someone I met here, and she has a website about news, and she wanted to change the world with it, right? It's a totally new thing. Anyway, I talked with her up there in nature, right, as we walked around, and she said, oh yeah, there's these bots. So there's there's these bots that certain people or whatever can create to flood the internet with messages to drown out some other thing. So yeah, totally.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly right. This one journalist from the New York Times was, the title of his article was, and he's the main tech journalist for the New York Times. The title of his article was, I'm now starting to get nervous about the internet. And he said he's always been excited about it, and this year he's now starting to get nervous about it. Yeah.
Good point. So we should take time.
There's this kind of like Jaws music coming in. It's like doo-doo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we should take time to disconnect from it, not always be connected with our devices, because we need to be able to tune in and know what's true. Like, what do we believe something or not, and is it of light and soul?
Yeah, that's exactly right. But also creativity, just to be with yourself, and also just to be with an unwired nature, as you do, Bevan, right? Just to be in nature, because you recognize it, you know.
Yeah.
We are so wired, like we've traveled down that path so much, you know, that we're weary, almost like our systems, our subtle energy systems are tired of the technology and the wiring. So anyway. So soul,
we definitely have to make an episode about that.
Oh gosh, I know.
Because you just said creativity too. Because I decided to make a book on creativity called Anyone Can Create too, and I've already been working on it. Yeah,
I love it.
And it started out there on the hill like that.
That's it. Inspiration. Find out inspiration in nature, everybody. So my inspiration is soul. It's something I've been doing for 40 years in learning spiritual mastery and also communicating with the spirit worlds for 28 years, clearly every day, dialoguing with them. I'm a master energy worker, healer, spiritual healer, and I am a master intuitive, meaning that my telepathics with the spirit world is very high, very advanced, very sophisticated, very detailed. And my mission, my passion is to find people who want to move into their leadership. That's my mission. That's my curiosity now. I'm into it. And to help those people find their soul, meet their soul, like tangibly, and begin to become that soul in their leadership and show their soul in their leadership and step past all their doubts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How can the audience start to work with you?
Yep. So down below in this page, Bevan, there's a couple of ways that people can dive into training with me. One of them is a one-on-one training with me. I reserve my one-on-one opportunities now for just very high-end clients and leadership clients. And then another way is to come into just some beautiful soul development training with me on an online course that I have available with the special offer today. And yeah, the special offer is pretty amazing. 2 huge courses is wrapped up in this online opportunity for you if you want to jump into this amazing course, these 2 courses. One of them...
I believe I've experienced some of it, and it's great. And that's how I met you, right? So first there was an interview, and then I started going through that, and it's really awesome. And it feels so high vibrational. It's really high quality. So what are those 2 programs?
Yeah, so I just want to say for 25 years I've been dialoguing with the CEO levels of the spirit world, and the vibration is extremely high. So when anyone listens to online courses, these are word for word given from these CEO levels of the spirit world. So the frequency and the vibration is extremely high, and these spirit mentors are connecting with you when you're listening, just very gently, helping you get the penny drops, helping you move through the workshops and the processes. They're giving all the workshops, they're giving all the processes. So one of the courses is a training in state mastery. So they have 3 separate courses on the state of love. And it moves from an initial training on love all the way up to a very high frequency training on love. The second one is a training on the state of joy. Now you can hear, hey, how these guys are the ones that are giving word for word the training on these states. And the third one is the state of creativity and full expression, fearless expression, the state, holding that state. And the fourth 3, because there's 12 workshops, and 4 different states that these guys train on. And the fourth one is the state of clarity, full on clarity.
So this sounds great for anyone that values how they feel.
So each of these workshops is about an hour and a half long. So it's incredible in-depth training on these states. So yeah, very powerful course. It's called Life Keys. And the second course is an extremely popular course, 26 mini videos, 5-minute videos, 26 of them. And it walks you through beautiful, deep soul development, where you do get to meet your soul, where you do get to chat with your soul. But also these 5-minute videos take you into inner spirit spaces, and you have a lot of fun there, and there's a lot of teaching and training of soul development in those 5-minute videos. And again, each one of those videos is straight from the CEO levels of the spirit world. So 2 powerful courses, huge courses, about 2,000 people that have gone through those mini 5-minute video, that particular course. It's very, very popular. Yeah.
Awesome. I'd like to, if it's okay with you, I'd like to read out a few of the feedback that they've written. Okay. This information is invaluable. I feel so happy and uplifted all day as a result. RC in New York. And I love each session you share so brilliantly and have benefited greatly. Thank you. SW Jackson, USA. I adore your encouragement. It has opened my heart wide open, and I feel inspired and revitalized. WB, Sydney, Australia. All right, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Bevan. Yep.
The feedback that comes in.
I just get so many emails. You see, in the course membership portal, There's the ability to ask me questions in the comments areas. So you can people can leave me questions, which they do all the time, and they have for years and years. And the comments are mind-blowing, actually. Like, so many people, just right from the get-go, from the very first few videos, they're just mind-blown at the power of the training, and the beauty of it, and the spirit helpers that they meet. People meet these beautiful spirit helpers, and you know, if you're an advanced spiritual development person, you'll get so much juice from these as well, and meet extra spirit helpers. So I'm a really advanced spirit communicator. So, and I've been, again, being trained directly by spirit for 28 years. So there's depth and power in the training. So I'm just letting you know, there's, in really accelerated 5 minutes, there's a huge amount of learning that happens for you and your soul. So it's very, very powerful. And 26 of those little 5-minute videos, there's a lot to chew on there. There's a lot. You just dive into these inner workshops, and my spirit tutors just take you through these journeys, and you learn a lot and see a lot, and it's amazing.
That's awesome. And also, I mean, a 5-minute video, that could be more valuable than an hour, because who has an hour, right? Like, if you're getting the right information that's very valuable in a short time, that's more valuable to you than getting lots of information that's not as quality, right? It's all.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It's rich and it's short. That's right. Hey, in this package too, by the way, Bevan, there's 3 extra very, very powerful trainings, by the way. There's the 2 big courses, and there's 1 amazing workshop, which is the first module of my main spirit guide training workshop, where the first module, where I take you on a journey where you meet a very high authority spirit guide who's going to be very, very useful for you, for your life. So it's an 1.5 hour training on how to hear them, how to get used to being with them, how to work with them, how to partner with them. So that's a 1.5 hour workshop right there, audio workshop. There's another extra audio as well, which is a lecture that I gave from my spirit guides, directly channeled, on the extraordinary journey, the long journey of the soul, even before this human incarnation, and the explorations and experiences that your soul has had. And this is pretty well much generic for most souls. It's an amazing, amazing lecture.
Oh yeah,
and also
I really enjoyed this. I think it was probably a couple
Did you?
years ago that I listened to it. Yeah.
And how your soul sort of works with your body, actually, and how it kind of gets your body to talk to you, because usually people aren't talking directly to their souls. So the soul's got to kind of like do something with the body or in a circumstance around you to even get you to notice sometimes what it's trying to say, right? So anyway, so the way that it works and partners with the body, and in all kinds of ways that it communicates with you. So it's amazing lecture, audio book. And the last one is a very powerful lecture also that's added as a bonus, is how to steer your reality from your heart. And that talks about the quantum world and this quantum reality that we live in, and how the heart is a very powerful mechanism that creates and attracts your realities to you. So your heart, so it's not your logic necessarily or your thoughts, it's your heart. And how to open that up and how to work with that. It's actually quite a sophisticated training on that, and a sophisticated commentary on that. So I think it'll be very rich, and I think everybody will really enjoy working with that one too.
Oh yeah,
so
like,
that's
like you
package.
said recently, sorry, that when like you don't pray with your words, it's with your heart. And also I really enjoyed this one too. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the special offer. A lot of training there from these CEO levels of the spirit world. So, you know, you're not working with any old spirit guide. Not that any old spirit guide is any old spirit guide, but you know, you're working with me, who I have trained directly from these CEO levels of the spirit world now for 25 years. So there's a level of intelligence and spiritual intelligence that's very sophisticated, to the point, simple, everyone. This is not complex. It's really simple, but very, very deep and powerful. And it cracks you open. It opens you up. Many, many people have given me the feedback that just soaking in the energy of the words, of the tone, because the words are coming directly, because I'm a telepath, meaning that my spirit guides are right in my mind and they're just giving me the words word by word. So as you're listening, you're feeling them coming through the words, and soaking in that changes you. It's really wiring, and they are rewiring us as we listen. So there's quite a power. There's the workshop where you're learning, where your logic is learning, where you're learning from feeling, but also just the soaking in the vibration. And it's like new software is getting downloaded into your auric field and into your spirit self. Quite powerful.
Mm-hmm. It sure does feel amazing, wonderful, revitalizing, and it feels something. It feels awesome. I forget. There was a word I was going to say before. I forgot what it was. But anyway.
Yeah. Look, I get feedback from, I honestly do get feedback from people where they go, I've never heard this kind of information before. I do get that feedback. And also some people let me know that they feel something coming from me that's very, very different. And it is that the height of the frequency and the height of the spiritual intelligence that's being delivered in the training. So
I could definitely agree with that.
It's not an ego thing. It's just I've been doing this for a long time, for 25 years, so I do know that I can feel the difference. And
this is something you do differently than other people. It's something you can't get anywhere else. That's why This is the one and only Alicia power.
That's right. I'm used to it, but I have to say that this is true. That's absolutely true. Yeah. Thanks, Devin.
Thank you so much.
The opportunity to talk about it.
Thank you very much for sharing with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
I recommend that if you resonate with what Alicia's saying, just take the next step. Just click and get the special offer, and you'll be very happy that you did.
Bevan, thank you for your work. Thank you for your willingness to experiment and go out in nature and inspire people and uplift people. Because I know that you want to uplift as many people as possible, and I love your mission, which is getting people working from their joy. I love that. Yeah. Back to you, Bevan. This is
awesome.
You are leading and you're modeling. So yeah, awesome. Love it.
Thanks very much. Well, and I look forward to having you back on Soul to Soul Talks again soon too. We have a couple of them. Maybe we will inspire a third one based on the nature thing. Maybe we'll even bring someone else in and do something different where we have multiple people here. But anyway, thank you so much. And thanks everyone for watching. It was great. It was good fun. I look forward to doing more of these. Thanks, Alicia, for playing with me. That was the first time we did this.
Thanks, Bevan. Big hugs. Big hugs to everybody watching. And I look forward to working with you.
See you all soon.
See ya.